Hello Flosstube friends, it has been a while. I know I always say this, but this time it's really been a while. It's almost been it has been a month since you last saw me. And if you remember, I originally planned to do one last video before my vacation. Unfortunately, I did not get to that because I was way too busy before I left. And yeah, then I was gone on vacation for a week, and after that I came back home with a cold. Then I hurt my foot, and I have a market upcoming at the end of June, so I have been so busy I didn't even do much stitching, and I definitely did not get any time to film, or to be honest, also I wasn't really in much of a mood to film. But yeah, I thought might as well get to it because it has been a month and we do have a raffle to do, or like I have done it. I just need to announce the winner of my 1 year Flosstube giveaway. So we'll get to that in a bit. First off, thank you for coming back, even after so much time has passed. And yeah, I do hope to get back into more of a regular schedule. It might be monthly sometimes, but we will see. Always depends on how much I actually did stitching. But that being said, yeah, my brain just just took a break there. But yeah, if you are new here, my name is Sen. I am an artist and designer. This is my little place on the internet for everything cross-stitch. So I stitch a lot of different things, as you will come to see if you stick around for a while. And I also design cross-stitch patterns, both smaller designs, and sometimes I do chart full coverage patterns from artworks I make. So there's all kinds of things. I'm a multi-passionate artist, so and crafter. So yeah, let's get into the actual stitching, shall we? As I said, I did not stitch that much over the past month, both because I was gone for a while and busy with other things. But I did do a bit. So yeah, no more rambling. Let's get into it. So the first thing is actually, and let me grab a paper to put behind it, because once again I did forget. It's a new start and also a finish. I think people call it a SAF. It is a new child in my little frock series patterns that I make. If you've been around for a while, you know these. This is number 5 out of 10 that we will eventually have once they are all done. This is the sad frog, as you can see. So yeah, I started this one at the beginning of the month and I finished it last week, I think. This one's up in my shop if you want to grab him, and maybe he'll be less sad. I don't know, we would see. But this is my start and finish of, what month do we have? May. Today is the 27th of May. That's him. Or her, or them. I don't know, you decide. So, that's number 1. What else do we have? Let's see. And these are, as always, in no particular order. Another one I worked on, and of course I did not unzip, so I apologize about that, is, let's do these first. This is still a whip, but also a pattern I made. That's this one. It's been so long, I'm not sure I did show you last time. I ordered a whole pack of multicolored flosses. And I don't, how do I say this? I didn't think that I would enjoy stitching sampler type kind of stuff so much, but with these, I do really like multicolored flosses. And now that I have so many, I need a use for them. So I chatted with my friend Dobby for a little while and said, yeah, maybe I should just design a little samplerish kind of pattern for each one of these multicolored flosses that I have, so I get to use them. I probably won't do that. That it's way too many, but you never know. I've said weird things, but I did design this one, and this is how far I am. I think it's getting close to 25% because this is a really small one. And I'm gonna show you the pattern, like the color is like this green and purple, obviously my favorite, as you might have guessed, looking at my room decor, with a little bit of blue in it. Let me show you what the finished pattern is gonna look like, because I have thought about printing this one. So this is what it's gonna look like finished. Obviously it's gonna be way prettier and use it in color, or if you do it in black, you can do it on any colored fabric. That's probably also gonna look really great. That being said, I just added this one to my shop as well. If you like it and want to stitch it, feel free to grab that. The link is, as always, down below in the description. So, but that is it for my new patterns. So enough of the commercial part of the video. I stitched on a few other projects while until no. See, I have been so out of it for so long. It's just been a month, but I can't film anymore. But yeah, something I worked on before leaving on vacation is this one here. It is a smaller full coverage pattern. I started this one in May last year, so it was like a mania start, and the only thing that I did for it was a tiny bit on top here in the roof. So what I did is the whole like bottom here, this flower, I went down from the roof all the way to the bottom corner, and now I'm going from the bottom corner upwards. So let's see if this helps. Why did I put the paper away? There it is. Maybe that's a little bit better. Just no, not too much. The lighting here is really weird, and I can't get this much closer without it getting weirder. So yeah, this flower, and now I'm going upwards with this. So let me show you what the finished one is gonna look like. This is it. It is from a magazine, and I think I actually do have a card in here stating where it's from. So we're gonna take a look. It is from the Cross Stitch Gold Scenery Collection. And the designer is Leslie Tier. So, and this is a German castle actually, so that I have visited as a child a few times. It's too far away for me to frequently go, but if you ever are in the Bavaria area of Germany, I can recommend. Go check it out. So, next I worked on, and this one I worked on while being on holiday conveniently, is one of my few stamped kits, which I bought way back when I was not aware that a lot of these are stolen designs, and regardless, since I bought them, I will finish them. I have no idea if that's the case with this one as well, because this is like a larger landscape pattern, so this might as well be like something genuine. So I can't really see much yet. The the bottom part over here is, there's a lot of work that's been done there. But what I've done in particular, yeah, I've worked a little bit on the bottom here, filling in colors. And before I stopped, I worked up here in the sky, filling in more of the sky here. And just turn this around because it's really hard with stamp patterns to see what has been done. So I'm just gonna show you the back. And you can see where there's actually stitching that happened. But yeah, this is basically my go-to when I'm not, on the rare occasions that I'm not home and want to stitch something. Then I usually do take this, and this was also one of my oldest starts, so it's from 2022. Again, bought this when I wasn't yet aware of copyright issues with stamp kits from China, so this is what it's gonna look like finished. Not gonna promote the company here, so you might have seen it flash by when I held this up, but yeah, this is... So if anyone knows this pattern from somewhere where it's legitimate, let me know, but I have not found it anywhere else. And I do, and as I said, I think like these landscape patterns might actually be fine, but I wouldn't bet on it, so I'm not gonna order from them again. Next up, I worked on another one of my own patterns. However, this is purely personal, so it's not for sale or anything. This is just my own, for my own enjoyment. Let me try not to completely unwrap it because there's a lot of loose threads in this one. I'm just gonna show you the top where I worked on. This one, if you're not new to my channel, you've seen this around a lot. It's also one of my older patterns. And I've worked on the background over here. Not much, just a few hundred stitches, so there really isn't much to see. It's trying to unwrap on me, so I'm just gonna need to hold it. Like, there's a lot of purple going on here. I think I gave it about 400 or 500 stitches, which isn't much for a project this size. So I really need to get back to this because I do want it finished in my lifetime. And this, you can see how dirty this was, and it really makes me sad because I do want to wash it, but with all the hanging threads, and I'm a bit terrified to do so. So another reason why I want it finished, so I can give it a gentle little wash. That's a thing because I do stitch in hand. That's what I prefer doing. That's what I do best. But unfortunately, that also means like that the fabric gets dirty way easier than if you were to stitch in a hoop or in a frame. But that's just how it is. And since this is my oldest and the one that I've touched most, it's 25% done, which means a lot, the amount of stitches this has. This is what it's gonna look like finished. And I have this part here, oops, let's see, this part here done, about here. Like, it's a little hard to show, like about this part here. And a lot of their faces, because I did that somewhere in between because I wanted to stitch on their faces. You can see it in my wood parade because I did completely unravel it there, like to show the whole thing despite hanging threads, but I noticed that it's really hard to get that organized again if I do that right now, so I'm trying not to. Okay, next one that I worked on a little bit is this one here. And I did the strawberries up tops here and half of the word in the bottom, and also these little rectangles down here. So this is a long one. It's gonna go, whoops, it's gonna go all the way down here. And you probably noticed that this is weirdly angled on the fabric, like, or weirdly positioned, because like there's so much space over here and so little space over here. I made a counting mistake. Like I started with, I think I started with this here, and I counted too little in the width of the S here, and then I had to rip out a lot of the words over here, and it obviously then angled over here, because I thought when I counted from the middle up here that this wasn't as wide. So, but there's still enough space over here to, because I'm usually very stingy with my fabric, as you have probably seen. This is more than enough space for me personally to frame it later. So I frame all of my projects myself. For now, that might change eventually when I finish some of my bigger projects. But so far I've only finished small things, and I always framed them myself or finished them myself. And this is what it's gonna look like finished. You can also see the name of the designer up here. It's by Faye Walsh. And yeah, I need to get back to this because that's something that I do really like, as are, to be fair, are most of my patterns. Let me get a quick sip of coffee. And we have one final one that I worked on over the weekend. So let's see. This is also from I started this late 2022, and I'm not very far with it for that amount of time. So this is where I am with this. It's about 10% done, so not that much, but a lot more than most of my full coverages. So this is, I'm not overly happy with how the sky is charted over here. I think the changing color is quite weird, even if you hold it further away. But I'll still continue with this and see how it's gonna look when I get further. But yeah, this might also be just me, who knows. Let me show you what it's gonna look like finished. Now I closed the zipper, forgetting that I cannot show the picture in the way. So there we go. That's what it's gonna look like finished. And as you can see, the contrast looks a lot less stark in the print over here. I mean, it is visible that the pink's going in there quite strongly, but I mean, if it's far enough away when it's finished, you might not see it, but we will see. I still like it. And yeah, this is by Artisy. This was one of their free patterns. So yeah, that's this one. Slow progress in all of my many projects because I have too many. And I have decided, so if I do not stick with it, you are free to call me out, to go on a, I won't say a no spend for the rest of the year, but definitely a low spend. As I'm not buying any more patterns, because I have way too many. I mean, I still have the Readly app that I'm planning on canceling for now, but I still need to, I'm putting that on the back burner all the time because there's some favorites that I saved that I want to copy out of it to keep them before I cancel the app. And I always say like, yeah, I'm gonna get that done, and then I forget and it renews for another month, and then there's more new patterns that I like, and it's a thing. And I always do get one magazine when I take the train to my parents' place that gets published every quarter. So that one I will probably get. Not necessarily, depends on if there's anything in there that I like, of course. If there isn't, then I'm not gonna buy it. And the one thing that I will definitely not keep myself from buying is floss. Like if I run out of a color, I'm gonna restock on that color, obviously. But other than that, I'm not gonna get into buying any more full coverage patterns this year that I will never finish in this lifetime, because I've already had too many started and too many in my folder that I haven't started, both full coverage and smaller patterns. So if you see me buying anything other than like keeping the app, getting that particular magazine, which I'm gonna show you, the last one that I got, or floss, do feel free to call me out, because then I deserved it, at least until the end of the year, because I do need to save a little bit. That being said, my mini haul this month is this particular magazine that I always get when I head over to my parents' place. This one I got mainly for this pattern here, which I really like. So that may be something that I'm gonna start eventually, but I'm definitely planning on it. It doesn't have all of the patterns that are in there on the front page. So there is, yeah, it does have all of them in here. These are the patterns that are in there. So I might do this one or give it to Moa to stitch, because it's small and easy, and that might actually do fit the colors in his room, and he said he liked it, so he might as well do that himself. But it's pretty much all, I mean, they're all pretty, but I can't stitch everything. And well, this one in particular called to me because I think this is really beautiful. Like this large field of poppies here with the mountains in the back, and I love the mountains. I don't live anywhere near them, but I do love them. I used to go hiking in the Alps a lot as a child with my parents. We went there every summer for camping and such, and that was good times. I need to go there again. Maybe visit certain people. Next year, we will see. But yeah, that's it for the actual stitching. So let's get into the giveaway winner. Last time was my Flosstube anniversary. I've been on here for a whole year, can you believe it? And I put out a raffle for one digital pattern from my shop. So I said to put down in the comments which one was your favorite when looking through my shop, and everybody who did that would be entered in the giveaway. So the winner I have pulled on my computer, so let's just look at this. I'm also gonna type it down below so it's easier. The winner in this one is Sunrise 49738. So please do send me an email. My email is in the description below, so that I do know your email address. Please just put in there that you won the raffle on my previous video, and I will send you the pattern that you said you liked best. I also kind of love how most of you were like, yeah, I love the Mythical Swamp one, because that's really one of my favorites too, of the recent ones that I made, or in general, actually. I also really love that painting that I made that from. So yeah, that is that. Please do notify me Another thing as for life updates, I don't really do much of those because my life is pretty boring. But yeah, I might also say like why I was so busy in case you're interested. If not, feel free to tap out here because the stitching part is done. Other than that, yes, I will definitely keep making cross-stitch designs. But I have also, which is the main reason why I've been so busy, reopened my my online shop for my art and stationery and the like. So if that is something you're interested in, I'm gonna put the link down below as well, so you can check it out. I do sell all kinds of stationery like notepads, notebooks, washi tape, stickers. So if you journal or anything, or just collect cute stationery, or you just like my work, then go give it a look. Maybe you find something you want to order. But yeah, we have the, I think it's actually country's largest comic and manga convention coming up at the end of June, which I will be tabling at. And yeah, I'm currently deep in the preparations for that. So what I do right now mainly do stationery and such. I also still draw comic and manga stuff. And so yeah, these interests overlap a little also when it comes to customer base. Like people who do like to buy from me, they usually tend to like both. Also, what else can I say? Yeah, I have had a break on that for a while from the start of June because my mental health has been really bad. I mean, it still is, but not as bad. But since I don't really know how to put this, I don't really want to go too much into that at this point. But fact is, I'm still looking for a therapist. This seems to be like one of the main, how do you say it? It's a real issue here in Germany. We don't have nearly enough places to go to unless you do have money and can pay for it yourself, which I do not. Wait times are extremely long, and usually sometimes you need to, if you even get someone who will put you on their wait list, you will have to wait for half a year or longer. And I currently can't even find someone to put me on their wait list because they're all completely booked out. So that's a thing. And there's a lot of other stuff riding on that, and it's a problem. It's a real problem. But other than that, vacation has been great. Although it wasn't so much of a vacation than it was a house sitting for my parents. But for me, it was kind of a vacation because I got to live in a house for a week and had a car to drive around and do stuff, which I personally don't own a car. I have a driver's license. I sometimes lend my mother's car for markets and such, so I can even go there. We plan to get a car eventually once we can afford it. That's, yeah. But we did go do quite a few things in that week. I went out with my sister-in-law twice, and my two nephews. They are 2 and 4 years old, or will be 2 and 4 years old in June and July respectively. So we went to like a place that's more like for children, which was really cute, seeing them and enjoy it. And spending more time with them because they live a little farther away, so I can't just visit them regularly. But from my parents' place, it's not that far, at least if you have a car and can just drive there, it's about half an hour. So we did that twice, and then they came over to my parents' place on Sunday when my parents returned from holiday themselves, and we had a nice little Mother's Day barbecue to end the vacation, and then we went home. Um, Other than that, we did take a day to drive up to the North Sea because I haven't been at the coast for ages. Unfortunately, I was a little bit underwhelmed. I'm gonna put a picture over here or here. We did have not so good weather. I mean, at least it wasn't raining, but it was quite foggy. No, I don't even know it, and it was cold. Obviously, it's always colder at the coast than it's inland. So, but that was like a temperature difference of about 10 degrees Celsius, which we were not prepared for. We were prepared for it being a little colder, but not that cold. And it was so foggy that you couldn't even see the islands. And the other unfortunate thing that I should have probably checked out before was that we arrived at high tide. So usually, well, like technically, we would have liked to go at low tide because then you can walk into what's the English word? I think it might actually be what, like when the tide recedes, and then you can just walk across where the water has been, which was always like a funny experience for me as a child, and then you can like pick up all kinds of conches and everything. Um, and But yeah, we arrived at high tide or shortly before high tide, so we would have had to stay there until late in the evening to experience that phenomenon. And seeing that we needed like about almost 3 hours to drive up there, and there wasn't much to do there, especially not with the weather. We decided to not wait. So we left after about 2 or 3 hours of being there. And what I mean by saying I was a little underwhelmed is like I remember it being a lot more interesting and a lot greater, like seeing the ocean when I was a child or a young adult. And I mean, it has been over 20 years since I've been, so I suppose it's more like a mix between having things in your memory being greater than they actually are. Like your memory making it more interesting than it actually is. And like paired with my how do you put it? Like since I do have issues with depression, I do not enjoy a lot of things as much as I did when I was younger. So I think it might be like a mixture of both, that I'm just not as excitable as I used to be. But we did drive back, and on the way home, we visited a castle that I also visited a lot when I was younger. It's a museum now, and that was nice. They had a lot of interesting stuff to see, and I always enjoy like looking at old castles and keeps and ruins and such. And we climbed the top tower, and there that had a really nice view. So I'm just gonna put a picture here. But yeah, that's pretty much it. We did a few other small things, but other than that, we just like chilled and relaxed a little bit. And it was just a week, so you can only do so much in a week. On the first 3 days, I spent a lot of time with my grandma, driving her around and such. Wasn't too interesting, so nothing to say about that. But yeah, other than that, the other 3 weeks since I was last online, I've just been working. I've been working, preparing for the market, and trying to get my shit in order. Which yeah, I haven't really done much of managing that, but. I mean, we're thinking about redecorating our storage room and stuff, making it a little nicer. There's a few things about the flat that are really bugging me. But you can only do so much with little money. But yeah, I'm gonna stop that here for today. I hope you did enjoy the stitching part and weren't like too bothered by my ramblings. I will try to film again in about 2 weeks, but if I do not get any stitching done, then it might be the end of probably not the end of June, because that's when the market's gonna happen, but the start of July, like after the market's done. So if you do not see me for another month, please do not be surprised or alarmed. But I will try to be there before that. So, but we will see. I can't make any promises right now. It's been wild. This month has been wild. But yeah, if you enjoyed what you saw, please leave me a like, leave me a comment. I know I didn't manage to reply to every comment last time. I usually do. And I do really like to chat in the comments. So if that was you, I'm sorry if I forgot to reply. Please don't take that as a reason to not comment anymore. Yeah, please like and subscribe. And we will see each other again next time. Bye bye.